Stefon Diggs has gotten 4 women pregnant within the last 15 months. One of the women that he's gotten pregnant is now suing him in court for child support, and she has a 5-month-old. Mind you, Stefon Diggs started dating Cardi B. They went public in October of 2024, so just a little bit less than a year ago, which means he would have gotten the other woman pregnant like just before he and Cardi B went public.
Stefon Diggs is shaken, and according to reports, Cardi B's baby is going to be the 3rd child that he's had in 2025. I did not break down the baby mamas. Might as well break it down because you guys were asking me about it.
That's your baby daddy, bitch. That's my baby daddy too, girl. Well, what now? I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out.
I understand a lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high functioning.
What situation?
See my situation? That's a very vague question, and this for you.
What situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Oh my God, so the way Future said happy birthday to his son versus the way Russell Wilson did is going viral. Future tweeted, "Thank God for baby Future, more life, more blessing, I love you infinity." And Russell posted, "Happy birthday Future, the Big 10. We are so proud of you and so grateful for you. You are our biggest blessing, an amazing son, the best big brother, an absolute baller, so kind and loving, keep shining, keep loving. It is our greatest joy watching you grow into the young man God created you to be. I can't believe it's been 10 years. God is good. We love you forever."
I never went to a strip club for women. I always went to strip clubs for guys.
Yes guys, so I'm going to do my makeup on camera. Yes, you guys have asked and that's what I'm going to do. Later on I'm going to do a proper introduction, but I just want to let you guys know that let's start with this, okay? So because you guys have asked to see how I do my makeup, I decided to do this video and show you guys how I do my makeup at the same time delivering my video essays. So hopefully that does make sense. So that being said, let's get straight into this video. Let's talk about the baby daddification of Hollywood. And yes, I gave it that name, daddification. Nobody has given it that name that I can see. Well, we're going to speak about the baby daddification of Hollywood. I sound tired, that's because I am tired. It's basically 11 p.m. and I'm traveling in 2 days. But this is for the end of this video where we'll speak about everything. So that being said, let's speak about the baby let's talk about the baby daddification of Hollywood. Is this a modern trend in fatherhood? There's been a very loud, a very obvious pattern forming in entertainment, especially when it comes to famous black men who have multiple kids with multiple women and somehow walk through the conversation virtually untouched. These people, they do not have any PR collapse, no career derailment, no mass outrage, nothing. If anything, it's become a headline, it's become a meme, it's become a personality trait. People even joke about it now. They call it the baby daddification. I'm going to cut my tongue. They call it the baby daddification of Hollywood, like it's a subgenre that we all silently accepted and just stopped questioning. Okay, like I said earlier, I actually call it that, daddification, because again, what can I say? So in this video, we are going to talk about daddification. We'll talk about it not in the "oh men are trash" way and not in the praise them way either, but in the wait, how did this even become normal? Yeah, we are looking at 5 guys in particular. We're going to speak about Nick Cannon, NBA Youngboy, Future, Stefon Diggs, and Cam Newton. 5 different careers with different fan bases and public images, but one very similar storyline. People who have multiple kids, multiple partners, no wedding ring in sight, and a level of public reaction that ranges from amused to unbothered to weirdly supportive. I'm going to get into the basics, who they are and how many children they have, how many mothers that they, or how many women they've murdered and murdered, like how many mothers, like how many women are literally their baby mamas? Let's just be very realistic. And what the media actually says about all of it all. Then I'm going to zoom out a bit and talk about the bigger picture. How did this become normal, especially in entertainment, especially in hip-hop, especially in football or like basketball? And why doesn't it spark the outrage that one would expect? And also we're going to speak about why a lot of women who are involved don't publicly slam it, and how this shapes how we think about fatherhood, masculinity, and family in general. Because again, this isn't just celebrity gossip anymore. This says something about us and about what we ignore, what we glamorize, and what we excuse, and also what we decide is no longer shocking. And honestly, let's talk about why. But before we go on, guys, my name is Jewel. Like I said earlier, literally I do video essays. I speak about whatever I want to speak about. This is one of my series called The Plot Thickens. If you'd want to see more videos like this, kindly like, share, subscribe if you care. And that being said, let's quickly get straight into this video because this is gonna be a long one, okay? Let's start with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon went from Nickelodeon to Wild and Out to The Masked Singer, and somewhere in the middle, the man became one of the most talked about fathers in Hollywood. He's now a father of 12 with 6 different women, and instead of it just tanking his reputation, it basically has turned into this running joke. It's turned into a meme, and oddly enough, it's turned into part of his brand.
Alright, let's do this. Rock and roll, golden powerful, Zilly, Zion, Zen, legendary, Onyx, Rise, beautiful, and Halo. See? Remembering my kids' names, that's the easy part. The real challenge is remembering what they all want. Powerful wants slime, Zilly likes chili, Monroe wants some type of makeup, somebody ordered cat food. We don't even own a cat. We own a cat. Pizza, plants, Pop-Tarts. Man, I cannot keep up. Lots of kids means I need lots of deals. The summer of Dash Pass is coming in clutch.
It all started in the traditional way. He was married and he had twins, and it was a very public love story, Mariah Carey. So he had 2 children, he has 2 children called Monroe and Moroccan. And like I said, they are twins, and these were the children that he had in the first chapter of his life. So the rest after that, well, I'm not gonna lie, it came in rapid succession after their 2016 divorce. So after he got married to Mariah Carey and they divorced, he just decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to impregnate as many women as I can. He started with Brittany Bell. Is it Abby or Abby De La Rosa? He also impregnated Brie Tisi. I think that is his current baby mama. And again, I was watching Selling Sunset, and I'm not going to continue. I stopped at episode 3. And you know what? I stopped at the part where, okay, let me not digress, but I'm not gonna lie, Brie's annoying. That's why I stopped. And then Mary's annoying. That's why I stopped. And I feel like there's going to be drama. I thought there was going to be drama. Then I went on Twitter and then I was like, yeah, I'm not going to watch. It's going to trigger me. But anyways, that being said, he impregnated Brittany Bell, Abby De La Rosa, Brie Tisi, Lanisha Cole, and Alicia Scott. The list of mothers just kept growing, and so did the headlines.
Guys, if you have not seen Nick Cannon's family tree, you are missing out. Let's just break this down. So obviously we're starting off with Mariah Carey. She's got the twins Monroe and Moroccan. Strange names, but it's Mariah Carey. What do you expect? Then we move on to Brittany Bell, and this is where it starts getting weird. We've got Golden Saigon and Powerful Queen. Like, that is actually their name. Powerful Queen Cannon. But let's not skip to baby number 10 because we've got baby mama number 3. Nick then moved on to DJ Abby De La Rosa and had Zion and Zillion. Zillion probably because Nick's got about a gazillion children. Nick then moves on to baby mama 4, Alyssa Scott, and they have a son called Zen. Sadly, Zen did pass away. Guys, child number 8 is just the weirdest one. So Nick has a child with Brie Tisi from Selling Sunset called Legendary Love. But full name here, Legendary Love Cannon. Legendary Love Cannon. At any point did either of them think Legendary Love Cannon sounds a bit weird? Like maybe a little bit phallic. Nick couldn't have been thinking about it for too long because then he moves on to the next baby mama. And him and Lanisha have Onyx Ice Cole. What's cooler than being cool? By this point, Nick Cannon has literally completed the baby mamas. He goes back to previous women, goes back to Brittany Bell, and has Rise Messiah, and then goes back to Abby De La Rosa and has beautiful Cannon. Honestly, Nick must be having some kind of effect on these women to persuade them to name them these whack names. And finally, Nick goes back to Alyssa, and the child is called Halo Marie. Arguably, probably the most normal name out of all of them. But it's absolutely wild that he went back to 3 different baby mamas and had more kids.
So basically, he has 12 or 13 children. So apart from Monroe and Moroccan, the other children that he has are Golden, Powerful Queen, Rise Messiah, Zion, Zillion, Beautiful Zepelian, Legendary Love, Onyx Eyes, Halo Marie, and also he has an angel baby called Baby Zen.
What are their names?
Oh, you want all 12?
12 names. Go.
All right. This is where I usually get in trouble.
Why? Because you don't know all of them.
I know all of them, but like, all right, well, here we go. I'll label off for you. See, let's keep me honest. There's Rock, Row, Golden, Powerful, Rise, Onyx, Legendary, Zion, Zillion, Zen, and see, this is where how many?
You're missing 2.
I'm missing 2.
So the names alone, they sound like a celebrity planet with its own solar system. And obviously the public reaction has been surprisingly chill. And it's not chill in a neutral way. It's more like entertainment type of chill. Okay guys, my makeup brushes, they look kind of dirty or they look like unwashed, but I wash my brushes after every 3 uses. So this is my second use. I should wash it today before I travel, but I forgot because I've been so tired. So yeah, but I think I'm going to wash it this night because I have clothes I need to put in the wash. But anyways, that being said, let's continue. People are not like clutching their pearls. They are just like tweeting things like, bro is collecting infinity stones at this point, or save some baby names for the rest of us. And you know what's funny? The outrage that you would expect just never hit. The media frames it like it's this spectacle and it's not a scandal. Other celebrities, they've raised eyebrows here and there. Sure, like even Vivica A. Fox, if you guys don't know her, then you're obviously like a Gen Alpha. So Vivica Fox, she nudged the conversation about representation and fatherhood, but it never turned into a campaign to cancel him.
I mean, you know, y'all can be like, well, he got money, this, that, and the third, but the foundation of Black families, especially a strong father figure, is needed. Mm-hmm. This isn't a good representation of it, in my opinion.
You know, I'm going to go with you on this one. I think Nick Cannon's a great guy. I think he's successful. And the same, you know, we go in on people like Future, and not to say that he's the same, but it's just at the end of the day, there are a lot of, I don't know how with his so busy, and Nick Cannon has an empire. He has an empire. So do you have time for all these kids? I barely today.
And not to be there to take pictures, and it's cute. And oh my God, I'm at the birthday party. You know, children deserve a father figure, especially young boys. They need positive father figures, especially African American, because they Black. And just providing a check. I've seen so many people that in the past have dated like athletes and gotten child support. What if he gets hurt? Things happen.
Yeah, I wish we get out of the, well, he has the money, because it's way more than money.
Exactly.
Though he has,
well, we didn't say it was just the money. We totally said that he should have a relationship.
His shows, they kept running. His sponsorships, they've stayed intact. His careers, they've never flinched. And what makes it even much more interesting is that Nick, he talks about all of this, and he talks about all of this a lot. He doesn't dodge it, he just narrates it. He admits that the kids, they came fast during a phase where he was just figuring out life post-divorce, and he even admitted himself that this is messy, this is emotional, and this is a live in the moment era, or this was, should I use the word was, a live in the moment era. He even said that if he had sat with himself and he had unpacked the breakup that and done some of this healing first, that maybe things would have gone differently. But the thing is, I just want to make it known that he does not speak about his children like he regrets them. They are like the complete opposite. To Nick, they are the definite point in his story. He would rather talk about love than speak about logistics, if that makes sense.
12 kids later, and now Nick Cannon wants to finally admit that having all these broken homes was nothing but a trauma response. After the 5th, 6th kid, we were all like, Nick, you might want to slow down. But no, Nick swore because he had the money, it didn't matter. I feel like after he couldn't name all 12 of his kids in that one interview, he was like, maybe this is a problem. Maybe I do need some help. This man sat up in this interview and said that he had all these kids because he wanted to basically get back at Mariah Carey, by the way, because of the divorce. That's how you chose you wanted to get back at her? By having all of those kids? Well, Nick, you got her good. You got her so damn good. At least he's finally admitting to it, so I will give him that. This just means that he's finally going to therapy. He's getting the help that he needs. Of course, we all wanted it to happen sooner rather than later, but we're here. How many broken homes later?
And then there is the co-parenting setup, which probably confuses half of the internet, especially me. Because instead of mess, it's more like a network. So basically, Abby works with Nick. Bree openly said that she doesn't need him for anything. She does not need him for money. She just cares that he shows up for their kid. Abby even joked that seeing him around the other mothers just makes her weirdly jealous, but also weirdly into it. Celebrities are weird. Let's just start with that. Unconventional doesn't even cover this because it's a whole different blueprint, if I'm being very honest right now.
So are you then aware of other partners?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I'm not like checking your following and seeing where you're going and asking who this girl is and all of that stuff. I'm kind of like oh, I see this. Is this a situation? Like, what are we doing here? It's a very different relationship. Like, even to this day, like, yeah, we get into it here and there about stuff or like parenting stuff or whatever, but I've never fought with this man. It's just so healthy and normal, and people think that it's not because of the surrounding factors, but I don't involve myself in surrounding factors.
So when people say surrounding factors, I think they're thinking about the non-monogamy.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the relationship, is this a topic of conversation or not?
I mean, Nick's always been a playboy. Everybody knows that. Like, he's always been that way.
So are you then aware of other partners?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I'm not like checking your following and seeing where you're going and asking who this girl is and all of that stuff. I'm kind of like oh, I see this. Is this a situation? Like, what are we doing here? I really try to just mind my own because it's not something that truly bothers me. So why am I spending my energy and my time talking about it and asking you questions about it? I don't really see the point. I'm not threatened because I know what my relationship is. And I know that no matter what, you will never have with anyone else what you have with me.
Nick also refuses the term co-parent. He said that he feels like it makes it sound like an obligation split between adults instead of just parenting. But it's co-parents because he's not married to them. Anyways, according to Nick, I wanted to say according to Nickelodeon. According to Nick Cannon, he treats each home, each kid, each mother as its own world with its own needs, its own rhythm, its own relationship. And this guy swears that it works for them, and publicly at least, none of the mothers are stepping out with resentment or exposing anything dark behind the scenes. And that's a big part of why the world just shrugs instead of rages, because the usual script isn't playing out here. The dads who gets dragged in headlines are the absent ones, or the ones who dodge child support, or the ones who just disappear or publicly embarrass the mothers of their kids. But when it comes to Nick Cannon, even though Nick Cannon is loud, he's also present and financially able to take care of his children and extensively maybe the mother of his children. He celebrates fatherhood instead of just running away from fatherhood. So the conversation just shifts from how many kids to, okay, but does he show up though? And by all available evidence, yes, he does show up. But does that even make it right? We're going to talk about that later on in this video. So instead of Nick Cannon being framed as a man who does too much, he gets framed as a man that does something different. Maybe too different for some, maybe admirable for others, maybe absurd to the other people, but is it harmful? But anyways, the public narrative hasn't stuck him with that label yet. They've not called him a deadbeat or someone who is harmful to the kids. Right now, he's not the cautionary tale. He's literally the plot twist, and we all are still trying to figure out what the lesson is supposed to be. But I think I have a few guys. If you see me looking straight up, I have like a giant mirror in my room. Later on, we're going to expand more into this because this is a very serious topic that I feel like people just like run away from. And speaking about this, let's talk about something else that will get you out of a stressful situation that does not equal this. 1 minute you're clocking in at work and the next you're on the ground with a serious injury. That's exactly what happened to a guy I heard about. He slipped on a wet floor, broke his ankle, and suddenly couldn't walk for months. He thought that filing through his company's insurance would be simple. Instead, they dragged their feet and offered him almost nothing. There is a reason influencer scandals go viral, just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. If you are in a serious accident or are injured in any way, your case could actually be worth millions. With over 1,000 attorneys across the country and 35 years of experience, Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you the money that you deserve. They've recovered more than $25 billion for over 500,000 clients, and their results speak volume. In Pennsylvania, one client was offered $650,000 but walked away with $26 million after Morgan & Morgan fought for them. In Florida, another client went from $0 offer to a $20 million verdict. The best part, starting a claim is simple. You can do it online in minutes right from your couch. No stacks of paperwork, no endless office visits. So, if you're ever injured at work, you can check out Morgan & Morgan because their fee is free unless they win. You can just click the link in the description box or scan the QR code on screen to start your claim today. This is an ad for Otter Spirit. They are a brand that actually gives back because every order donates $1 towards saving wild sea otters in Montero Bay in California. They work with real ocean wildlife organizations, so your purchase protects real animals. The bracelet they sent me are so authentic and AA grade. They still look brand new even after I swam with them in the salty sea of Tunisia. The first bracelet is Golden Tiger Eye. Its intention is confidence. It connects to the root and sacral chakras, and the zodiac signs are Leo, Capricorn, Aries, and Sagittarius. It felt grounding the moment I touched it. Even my cat that was sleeping woke up, came up, and kept licking my hands when I opened it. The second is Pyrite. The intention of Pyrite is prosperity. It works with the solar plexus chakra, and the zodiac signs are Aries, Scorpio, Leo, and Sagittarius. It shines like moving water, in my own opinion. The third is Iolite. Iolite's intention is intuition. It connects to the third eye and the child chakras, and the zodiac signs are Aries, Libra, Aquarius, and Leo. The last one, which is my absolute favorite, is Citrine. The intention is prosperity. It connects to the solar plexus, root, and sacral chakras. Zodiac signs are Aries, Leo, Gemini, and Libra. Citrine, like I said, is one of my favorites, and getting this bracelet made me so happy because for consistently close to 5 years now, I have been wearing a citrine necklace. By buying from Otter Spirit, you save wild otters and you also support a good cause. For November, use Jewel 35 for 35% off any orders over $99 or Jewel 20 for 20% off any order. Visit otterspirit.com or you click the link in my description box. I love mine, and I think you will too. Now, let's move to the one or the person that I still try to wrap my head around to this day, and that is NBA Youngboy. So in case you don't know NBA Youngboy is a 25-year-old boy, or he's a man now, but he's 25 years old, okay? Let that just sink in for a second. Most people his age are probably like figuring out rent, or they have traumas, they're figuring out Wi-Fi password, and they can even be figuring out what to eat for dinner. But this man, NBA Youngboy, he has 12 children. Yeah. 12 children, and he's 25. I'm turning 30 in less than 2 months. Literally. I'm turning 30 in I think 7 weeks, so I don't know. But anyways, this man, he has 12 kids, and not like he has 12 kids with one woman, which I'm not gonna lie, that would be diabolical because first of all, 12 children from one person. Like if you are a mother with 12 children, honestly, I give you my sincere respect. I really respect mothers because it's not easy to carry one child, talk more of 12 children. But anyway, I was saying this man has 12 kids with 9 or 10 different women. I'm not really sure. But that's not gossip math either. It's literally the actual count. He didn't wait for adulthood to kick things off either. His first son was born when he was 16 years. 16, guys. He was still legally a child himself and he was already stepping into fatherhood. Since then, the numbers have just climbed. He's had girlfriends, situationships, brief romances, the whole spectrum. Even some of his baby mamas even fight for him. I'm like, yo, are you not embarrassed? Like, are you not embarrassed? One of the most public relationships that he has, I don't know if they're still dating, is with Yaya Mayweather. And I'm not gonna lie, when I heard this, I was so disappointed. Yes, Yaya Mayweather. Oh, I said Mayweather. Oh my god, my tembe just came out. Yaya Mayweather, like Floyd Mayweather's daughter. And I've always wanted to do a video on Floyd Mayweather because maybe I'm the bearer of bad news, but that man is bad news himself. He is allegedly, let me use the word allegedly because I'm not even rich, but this man, he is a very abusive man anyways, but that's a story for another day. But we're speaking about Yaya Mayweather. So basically, one of the public relationships that he's had is with Yaya Mayweather. Yes, Yaya Mayweather, who ended up in a very public legal situation after a very serious altercation with another woman who also had a child by him. Yeah, honestly, yo, I don't know, is his dick really that good? Because I know I see like Shade Room literally speaking about women fighting over this guy. And I'm like, there's no way it's really that deep. Is it really that deep? Around that same time, he married Jocelyn Michelle while he was on house arrest and he had 2 kids with her too. I also want to do a video on this NBA young boy because I have like looked into him a bit and he is very fascinating. Maybe one day I'll do a video on him. But anyways, sprinkle in more children with outside women outside the spotlight and you end up with a family tree that genuinely just needs a full documentary and a diagram.
Y'all, so NBA YoungBoy baby mama Star basically just posted and said that she was having a little girl and she was so happy and basically, you know, saying congratulations to herself and she can't wait to meet her because she's a blessing because, you know, Star got all boys. The song in the background was basically a young boy song. He was saying something about he would get a world to his baby girl. I forgot what the fuck the song say. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. People on there basically mad coming and talking about, oh, she talking about young boy. This gotta be by young boy. Jazz gotta be the stupidest bitch ever to still stick around. Da 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 da. Baby, who? I'm not even trying to be funny, but who the fuck else won't Star? Y'all know who the fuck baby that is. Be for real. And that would be messy as fuck for her to play that in the background if she was pregnant by somebody else. And then y'all really late as fuck because it was already rumored like a fucking month ago. And nobody was just, you know, really talking about it because they kept trying to flip it and say that Jazz was pregnant as well, which she is. And she having a damn girl. Child, this shit is crazy and wild, baby. YB just be giving it out. He don't give a damn, baby. He could do it. He having it his motherfucking way. If he could have all his baby mamas, he would have them. I promise you that. Baby Jazz collecting her coin. She ain't worried about a motherfucking thing.
The wild part about all of this is that the public, they're not even mad at him. They're entertained by him. And when the conversation comes up, it's not even outrage. It's memes. It's tweets like, at this point, Nick Cannon and NBA YoungBoy are competing for ownership of the national population, or in 200 years, we'll all share a DNA match with one of them. Yo, people joke about it like it's a sport or a side quest that he's trying to complete. And that's really, really telling. In hip-hop culture, being a young, restless, boundary-pushing star isn't a flaw. It's almost like a job description that people even have to lie to be poor. Like who? Tiger had to lie that he came from the Bronx or whatever. Just find out that this guy came from riches. Anyways, the music industry has spent years just romanticizing the idea of the emotionally unreachable or the financially irresponsible or the deeply charismatic young superstar who moves at full speed, rules and consequences, spending. So instead of the public going, wait, is this sustainable? They go, wow, this is so on brand. And NBA YoungBoy himself, he makes the duality even louder. 1 minute he's posting photos, cradling babies, shouting out his kids in songs, promising to do better, talking about how much fatherhood just matters to him since getting out of legal trouble. The next minute, there are like interviews where he basically shrugs and hints that being a dad 247 isn't really his personality. Yo, this guy is 25 years old. What do you guys even expect from someone like him?
You know, I've been around you to see in a short amount of time that you're a great father. How important is fatherhood to you, man?
Not really big on it, to be honest.
What do you mean by that? You're not big on it? Like you're a family man. I'm here with you. I see it.
Yeah, but I'm only like in here because you here.
Oh, well, I don't believe
It's a crazy topic because I'm not the type like the sugarcoat nigga. But I'm 4 walls all day, every day.
When you say 4 walls, you mean locked in?
Yeah.
Just honed in on the music, recording?
Yeah.
You can take the hat. I don't mind.
We bond a lot, but I'm mostly literally inside.
Working?
No. No matter if I'm watching TV, I'm just sitting there all day. I'm stuck inside just one room. I don't really travel this house like that.
And honestly, that bounce between I love being a dad and fatherhood is not really my vibe just makes perfect sense to someone who became a parent before they even became an adult, because the world doesn't treat his honesty as a scandal. If anything, it just makes him more relatable to his audience. They see a kid who didn't slow down long enough to process anything, who is now trying to figure out 12 children. Yo, I can't get my head around it. I cannot get my head around it. Trying to figure out 12 children, at the same time also trying to figure out fame, trauma, legal drama, probation, marriage, and melodies at the same time. Let's not forget there was a time he was spiritual. I just confused him with NLE Chopper. Who is the one that was saying, oh, he was spiritual or something? I think it's NBA Youngboy during the time where he was under house arrest. But honestly, I'm saying all this to say that it just reads chaos, but it also reads a real life timeline that you would expect from a young rapper whose life accelerated before his brain even finished developing. And maybe that's why the backlash about him or against him has never really hit, because no one looks at NBA Youngboy like a man who calculated a 6-person co-parenting strategy or a retirement plan and then closed this. They look at him like someone who was launched into superstardom at 16 and just kept sprinting while life just kept adding responsibilities faster than he could mature into them. So instead of villainizing him, the internet just made him a character, not a poster boy for fatherhood, not the tragic cautionary tale either, but they made him part of the multiverse, Nick Cannon's younger apostle. You know what I mean? The Gen Z chapter in the same book. You know what I mean?
Having NBA Youngboy's 11th kid. 11th or 12th. I don't know what number that nigga on now. That's disgusting, man. It's the 12th?
Okay. Get it right. Or is it the 12th baby mama? Which one is it? So don't
the
even
12th
play
kid,
with him.
but he has 11 baby moms.
I'm going to be the 12th kid. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And for now, that's the role that the world seems perfectly fine letting him play. Now, down to the toxic king, and that is Future. Future is one of those celebrities whose real life is just like a mixtape interlude, if you ask me. So basically, guys, I'm so confused as to which blush I should use today. Future is literally one of those celebrities whose real life feels like a mixtape interlude, honestly. The music, the persona, the interviews, the lifestyle, the love life, it all blends into this character fans associate with emotional unavailability, club anthems, and this metaphoric relationship warfare. Honestly, when people jokingly call him the toxic king of hip-hop, it's not random. It's basically a pattern recognition at this point. On the family forefront, Future has about 8 kids with 8 different women, like one for each. Oh my god, some sources actually said that he has 9 children. I don't know how true it is, but whether it's 8 or 9, the point remains the same. Every child reportedly has a different mother.
Future has a new album out, and this prompted me to figure out once and for all how many children he has and with how many women. Let's get into it. His first child was a son born in 2002 to a woman called Jessica. Jessica is very low-key, she's not an Instagram person. His second baby mother is a woman called India. She gave birth to Future's second child, a daughter called London, in 2009. That's a 7-year gap between baby number 1 and baby number 2. As you'll soon see, the gaps between births bursts get much, much smaller. His third baby mother is a woman called Brittany. She gave birth to a son named Prince in 2012. Pop star Sierra is Future's fourth baby mother. She gave birth to a boy that she named Future in 2014. Sierra attempted to befriend all of his previous baby mothers, presumably because she believed she'd be the final baby mother. Spoiler alert, she was wrong. There are at least 8 more. He had a son named Cash in 2017, whose mother is this woman. The next year, in 2018, he had a son called Hendrix with Instagram dancer Joy Chavez. Future had 3 children with 3 different women in 2019. He had a daughter named Paris with a woman called Janelle. He had another daughter called Rain with Instagram personality Eliza Rain. I remember that she was annoyed that Future didn't wish their daughter a happy birthday. Still in 2019, he had a son called Legend with esthetician Cindy Parker. He then appeared to have a break from baby making when he was dating socialite Lori Harvey. Although a person called She's From the Islands on Instagram had a baby in 2020, and people aren't sure whether it's Future's or football player Trevon Diggs's, and I can't investigate further because she has a private Instagram. Future and Lori broke up and he was right back at it. In 2021, a woman named Kiera gave birth to his daughter Zen. Also in 2021, OnlyFans creator Eliza Jane gave birth to Future's baby, a daughter called Noah. Next year in 2022, this woman, who goes by the name of Brooklyn, allegedly gave birth to another one of Future's baby. I can't say for certain because her Instagram is private. Lastly, as far as I can find, former Taz's Angel and current Instagram person Ruby Saeed had a baby with Future in 2024. So that is 12 children with 12 baby mothers that have been confirmed and 2 maybes. So Future has between 12 to 14 children with 12 to 14 different baby mothers. You tend to see Future more with his older children, less with the children of the more recent baby mothers. And if you're wondering what it's like to be one of Future's 12 baby mothers, baby mother number 3, Brittany, was kind enough to tell us by going back and forth with him on the internet in 2021. It all started when Future allegedly texted their son Prince a charming message reading, "Your mother is a..." Obviously, we can't verify that Future was the one that said that. Brittany said that he did, and that triggered her to say that he hadn't seen his son in 3 months while living in the same state. She said that because she was no longer having intimate relations with him, Future's attitude had changed towards her and her son. Future's mum then entered the chat and tellingly did not deny that her son sent that message. This triggered Brittany even more. She appears to blame his mother for why Future behaves the way that he does regarding relationship. And bear in mind that this is one of the children that Future's actually actively involved with. I'm not really sure why Future keeps having children with women he clearly doesn't respect or even like very much. It seems like a stressful way to live. Do we see him having more in the future?
His first child's name is Jacoby, and Jacoby was born in 2002, long before the world even knew who the fuck Future even was. Then eventually came London. We have Prince, we have Future, Zaha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name well. We have Hendrix, we have Paris, we have Cash, and there's another daughter that he publicly fought paternity on before a DNA test confirmed that she was his. So apparently he has 8 confirmed children, but possibly 9 children, and unlike Nick Cannon or NBA Youngboy, he seems to have hit a pause button in recent years instead of adding to the lineup. Maybe Russell Wilson is really getting on his nerves that maybe he has decided that he's going to use this time to just look after himself because...
Oh my god, so the way Future said happy birthday to his son versus the way Russell Wilson did is going viral. Future tweeted, "Thank God for baby Future, more life, more blessing, I love you infinity." And Russell posted, "Happy birthday Future, the Big 10. We are so proud of you and so grateful for you. You are our biggest blessing, an amazing son, the best big brother, an absolute baller, so kind and loving, keep shining, keep loving. It is our greatest joy watching you grow into the young man God created you to be. I can't believe it's been 10 years. God is good. We love you forever." And at Sierra. Then fans reacted. One fan saying Russ gave him a better shout out. That's crazy. And another said, "My boy, you need to go see him or some. And bro, we gotta let Russell have him. Focus on the other 12, my king." Technically, as of recently, Future has a total of 8 children from 8 different mothers and 1 adopted son. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Do y'all think fans are right saying that Russell is a better father than Future is to his own son, Future Jr.? Comment your thoughts. That's it for this one. I'm out.
So did y'all see Future's response after finding out that Sierra and Russell definitely did legally change Future Jr.'s last name to Wilson, basically? Like, this response right here is absolutely insane because, dude, this is your son. Not to mention, he got your whole face and your rap name, bro. Like, this one of your kids. And this is how you react? Like, he gonna be bitter forever. And, like, mind y'all, this been going on long before Russell came in the picture. When Sierra decided she ain't want to deal with him no more, she chose herself and she decided to call off their engagement after he cheated
with his assistant allegedly and wanted no parts no more with him, he been acting a fool ever since. And it's crazy to me. Like, how you tripping and making your son pay because of something that you messed up? Like, dude, just take your L. Like, and to think that this is the same dude that people be defending. Like, at this point, this dude is like the bitter baby daddy president. Like, this here takes the cake. Like, cause for real, like, your son gotta see this one day. Just, ugh. Anyway, I just had to do that. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. And don't forget to follow me to make sure y'all keep up with this tea that I'm spilling.
Yo, I used to be a Future fan. I still listen to his song. He has good songs. I cannot believe I used to be a Future and Young Thug fan when I was in uni. Yo, literally, I loved them so much. And I did not know all these things about gang shit or what. I went to a Christian private school and I did not know all these things. So literally, I used to be like a Future fan. But anyways, like I said, he has 8 or 9 children. To be fair, there was definitely a stretch in the 2010s where every few months felt like a new episode of Is Future the Father? His relationship with Ciara was the most public one because it came with an engagement, red carpets, press, and then a breakup that turned into shade in freaking 4K. Yo, I am so happy that Future did not get married to Ciara because what the fuck? That marriage would have probably lasted for like 2 months tops, and I'm just being nice when I say 2 months. So basically, when Ciara moved on and married Russell Wilson, people just started talking less about Future's music and more about the optics, especially since Russell quickly became the stable father figure in Future Zaher's life. That storyline alone has just fed public debate for so many years. Then there was the paternity case with Eliza Reid, which got so messy on the timeline. Future initially denied fathering her child. Social media, obviously, they did what they did. They got so loud. There were cuts was involved, like cuts like where people go to plead their case. Court got involved and eventually the DNA confirmed that he was the father, and that act just added a layer to the public narrative that went beyond memes. It made people question not just how many kids he has, but how he shows up for his children. And yet, his career barely twitched. No cancelled tours, no public exile, no industry timeout. He still drops albums, he still headline shows, he still trends when he releases his album or his music, and he occupies the same untouchable rap titan space that he always has. Because while his personal life looks chaotic from the outside, his brand is built on not being domestic or tender or emotionally legible. So instead of ruining the image, the headline just fits into that image. Even the internet jokes lean more like commentary than condemnation. People tweet things like Future probably has a group chat for Mother's Day, or imagine his child support payments need their own accountants. But the thing is, none of it actually threatens his popularity. If anything, the audience just sees the behavior and just goes, yup, that tracks, that is literally Future. Future doesn't talk about fatherhood often, but when he does, there are always cracks in the character. He once admitted that he wishes that he had kids with one woman because it would have felt more meaningful. He also shouted out the mothers of his children on Mother's Day, including the one who prefer privacy, which showed at least a baseline level of respect and communication behind the scenes. He said before that he keeps his bond with his kids away from social media, and for someone like him that might actually be genuine rather than PR. I don't know, because again, I can remember an interview that Ciara had and someone asked her how does co-parenting goes, and she was like co-parenting and she burst out laughing. So honestly, I do not know. But the bigger picture here is fascinating because unlike Nick Cannon, who leans into intentional community style co-parenting, or Young Boy whose chaos just feels youthful and impulsive, Future's situation just carries this undertone of compartmentalization. It's less blended family and more parallel timelines. And maybe that's why the backlash never fully sticks.
Just right now. Not mine. They want some money. They want money.
So
that's money.
Hendrix is number 6.
Just 6.
I heard that. So you got you a little Brady bunch then, brother.
All boys, one girl.
Oh shit! Shoot, man.
God bless me.
Is Hendrix the last, or you think
Hendrix the last?
Wow, what's that beeping sound?
I gotta have more kids.
Why?
You want more girls?
No.
You want the one princess?
I just want one princess.
Yeah, man.
Better for her.
It's totally different when we raise them babies. Huh?
I don't want no girls. I got one girl.
Why do you think you would want more?
Man, me and my boys, we like best friends. Like that.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's unbelievable just watching you.
If I put 7 seconds on the clock, could you name all your kids in 7 seconds?
Yeah.
I don't need my 7 seconds.
Dang it.
They're in his head right now.
He's like, come on, do it.
But you know what? I come from a family of 7. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have families like that anymore.
It's a pact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it seems like you enjoy your kids.
Yeah, I enjoy my kids. I'm building my legacy. Like, I hustle for my last name. You got to understand, when you have a girl, they give away your last name.
Right.
My sons, I'm just thinking about, man, we got all our last name. It's just going to be huge. Then when like 50 years, 60 years from now, you're going to speak of me. You're going to speak of my legacy, and that's what you do. This is what I work for. Why would you have all this success just to leave it with one kid, and then if something happened, then you just, it's no more of y'all.
You got to keep making hit records, though.
Man, I got it. But that's why I have so much music, like, and so many businesses and so much going on for myself. It's just building my foundation up, building my legacy up, but also building my kids up, remaining. They keep everything going.
Future, how old is your oldest?
My oldest son, 16.
Okay, so he know, like he know pops, like.
Yeah, my oldest son, 16. I had him when I was 17.
Oh, okay, so but he know like he know the power of his dad.
Yeah, he know the power, but he understand that you got to make your own way. Like, you 16, you still got to make all A's and B's in school.
Sir.
And I didn't go to school.
I hear you.
But I still want you to go to school.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, it is what it is. Like, I was in the streets. I don't want you to be in the streets.
Yeah, and
I
you
did
don't
certain
have
things
to.
I don't want you to. Like, you didn't have to. You don't have to. You came up spoiled. You got everything you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy you your car. I bought my first car. So it's just like, you live in a different lifestyle, but you still got to understand it's so much that you got to carry on. Like, I built this up. You got to make sure you're prepared for it. So I'm trying to prepare you for it. If you're not prepared.
He's not pretending to be your ideal family man so that no one holds him hostage to that expectation. He pretends as the emotionally distant anti-hero, and the public just grates him on that curve. And honestly, this is not something that it's admired. It's not an admiration. It's not outrage. It's basically this collective shrug that says, yeah, that sounds about future. That sounds about right. And that response alone just says a lot about how culture just absorbs this stuff. If the image is honest of the behavior, even dysfunction just feels on brand, especially in the world that Future has built for himself. Now, let's talk about the latest baby daddy, and we're going to speak about Stefon Diggs. I did not even know this guy until whatever is happening with him right now happened. So basically, Stefon Diggs wasn't really part of the celebrity baby daddy discourse until very recently. He was known as this very quiet, elite receiver, laser-focused man that was always focused on football, loved playing football, and people also know him as a dad to his daughter Nova that was born back in 2017. I feel like my makeup is not turning well because I don't know how to multitask, if I'm being very honest, but let's see. But anyways, so basically that was kind of it. Prior to this, Stefon Diggs had no tabloid chaos, no viral debates, no baby counter scoreboard. Then late 2024 hit, and suddenly his personal life just started reading like a fucking group chat that nobody consented to be in. So obviously, if you don't know Stefon Diggs, he's currently Cardi B's baby daddy. And girl, divorce Offset to be with this. Literally, let's be very realistic. Offset is of no use either. But trust me, if you'd want to get back at someone who was toxic to you, you have two options. Work on yourself and wait till you find the perfect person, and then be with the perfect person, like upgrade. Because from Offset to Stefon Diggs, I personally feel that she downgraded, because Stefon Diggs is even worse, literally, if I'm being very honest, in my own opinion. But anyways, that's not why we're here. So basically, like I said, he began dating Cardi B, who is one of the loudest, most unapologetically herself celebrities on this entire fucking planet. Shortly after the relationship went public, Cardi B announced that she was pregnant. Yep, she announced she was pregnant, and it's cute, it's chaotic, but it's cute. Then came the plot twist. Another woman, her name is Eileen Lopera, she also stepped forward saying that Stefon Diggs was the father of her baby. Same year, very close timing, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? But anyways, internet explosion just activated, and a DNA test was conducted, and a DNA test eventually confirmed that Stefon Diggs is the father to Eileen's daughter too. You can't make this shit up. You cannot. So in a very short span, he went from private family man to father of three with 3 different women. 2 of those kids born within months of each other. I think Cardi B is still pregnant, although I think I heard today that she may have given birth, but the news is there out. But anyways, the backlash, honestly, barely a pulse. If I'm being very honest, barely a pulse. That man is still going about his life like, okay, it is what it is. One of the main reasons is Cardi B herself, because instead of responding with heartbreak or a public drag, even like a subtle shade, she met the whole situation with memes, humor, and that signature shrug that she normally does. She's literally said on Instagram Live, "That's your baby daddy B. That's my baby daddy too. Now what? We gonna figure it out."
That's your baby daddy, bitch. That's my baby daddy too, girl. Well, what now? I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out.
And when the person most expected to be upset is laughing, the rest of the internet, what do you expect them to do? They're literally going to follow the same vibe. She's also spoken about feeling safe with Stefon Diggs and feeling supported with Stefon Diggs, which honestly just flips this whole narrative, because how do you feel safe with someone who cheats on you openly, embarrassingly, and literally has children? How would that kind of person make you feel safe? It's different if it's an open relationship. If it's an open relationship, that's fine. But I don't think it's an open relationship, because Cardi B would have said it herself. But how does someone like that make you feel safe? And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this flipped the whole narrative immediately. The public went from, oh, this is about to get messy, to, huh? Okay, I guess they're fine. There've been no heartbreak press run, no Instagram essays, no blame talk. With Offset, she was always like screaming, going on live, screaming, regretting the day he was born, wishing death on him. But with Stefon Diggs, it's different. Just jokes, pregnancy pictures, and them getting couples' attention, timelines, and how going to his games and all of that. For his part, Stefon Diggs hasn't really leaned into the drama publicly. He did request a paternity test at first, which makes sense because overlapping timelines are a lot. But once the results actually confirmed everything, the expectations just shifted to, okay, now show up. And while he hasn't given a speech about co-parenting or dad life, his reaction to Cardi B's pregnancy was light. Was it exciting? I don't know if it was exciting, but I think it was practical, because when they asked him about pregnancy, this is what he had to say. I'm just gonna play for you guys to hear what this man had to say. But in case I cannot find the video, literally he said, "It's a boy. That's enough for me." And then he followed up by saying jokes about making his future son do push-ups.
The who? The baby rumors. Who is that? You. Oh, my personal life? Yeah. I told you about that. We won't talk too much about my personal life, but I heard about it.
Any celebrations that we'll see in the...
We'll see. It's a boy. That's enough for me. I can't wait to make him do push-ups and sit-ups and run around.
It wasn't deep, it wasn't messy, it wasn't defensive. It was just very guy with a new baby on the way energy, literally. Yeah, like he's done this a couple times, because again, imagine my husband literally just, they ask him about my pregnancy and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's a boy, that's enough for me." Honestly, you would think in this case, like the media, like seeing someone like speak about his child with Cardi B, the media will be like, "Oh my God, red flag." Even though everybody has been saying it's a red flag, you think maybe the media reaction is going to be a lot, but no, the media reaction has been so mild. There've been no think pieces about morals, no sports commentators that are literally like clutching their pearls. Like, there's even a video that they're asking people in the locker room, like, I think he plays football or basketball, I don't know. And they're asking, who is the person that you would never let your sister date? And all of them said, Stefon Diggs, to just show you how this kind of person is. And they've just been headlines that have stated the facts, like a character update in a Netflix show. Yo, give me a second, I cannot talk because I'm about to do like my lower eyeliner, sports fans, they barely blinked because I think people in sports already know the kind of person that Stefon Diggs is. So like sports fans, they barely blinked. If he can catch touchdowns, they are going to obviously tune in. Everything else is background noise, and culturally, I'm not gonna lie, the bar is low enough that 3 kids with 3 women doesn't even land as scandalous anymore, especially when compared to other athletes whose numbers just makes this look like a starter pack. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was battling if I was going to speak about Stefon Diggs, because again, he has 3 children with 3 women compared to NBA young boy Nick Cannon and Future, and I was like, does he even deserve to be on this list? I'm like, hell fucking yes, he does deserve to be on this list, because guess what, he doesn't make it right. Okay, especially because he has 2 women that were literally pregnant at the same time. Come on, let's be realistic, okay? And on top of that, yeah, him being this baby father or starting his own starter pack or starting his own world of baby drama. After all this, adding Cardi B's uncheckable personality, her very public lack of stress, and the fact that nobody involved is dragging the other online. Trust me, the outrage machine simply does not activate. So instead of moral discourse, we got storyline discourse. People are less focused on judging it and more focused on watching it unfold like it's this shared reality show. The general consensus right now isn't disappointment or praise. It's more like, well, this is happening. I'm just curious to see season 2. And that, more than anything, just shows how much the conversations around fatherhood and celebrity has shifted. If the women are not publicly upset and the man isn't running from responsibility, the public barely registers it as a controversy anymore, and it becomes entertainment, not outrage. Now, let's finally speak about Cam Newton. I've spoken about Cam Newton in a video that I made last year titled Stop Popping Out Babies to Losers, because literally, let's just say that this is like part 2 of that, if I'm being very honest. Cam Newton's story hits a little different from the others because you can actually watch the evolution in real time. There is a before when it comes to Cam Newton, there is a break, and then there is an after. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's messy, but there is an accountability that is sitting right in the middle, which is probably why the public reacted the way that it did. But at the height of his NFL career, Cam Newton wasn't the face of the Panthers. He was also presenting himself as this devoted family man. Him and his longtime partner, Kia, is it Kia? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that well. Kia Proctor, they had 4 kids together. Again, celebrity names are so funny, I'm not gonna lie. Not funny, I will not say funny, unique, okay? As a Nigerian, don't name your child Chosen. Because if you're a Nigerian, you're naming your child Chosen. Literally, there's a church called Chosen that Nigerians kind of make fun of. So literally, I feel like your child will make fun of in school. But the good thing is he's not Nigerian. But yeah, his first child's name is Chosen. I don't know if that's first child, but he has children called Chosen, Sovereign, Dior, Kamidas, and Kashmir. And if you followed him at that time, you saw that content everywhere. Literally, he had, I'm looking for my blush brush. Literally, he had matching outfit. He hosted birthday parties, dad-daughter pose, the whole thing. He genuinely looked all the way locked in. I don't know why I'm tearing up. This is pissing me off. I'm tearing off, guys. I'm tearing up. This is really pissing me off. So basically, if you followed him at that time, you saw that content everywhere. Matching outfits, birthday parties, dad-daughter post, the whole thing. He genuinely looked all the way locked in. And then 2020 happened and the image just literally cracked. So basically, Cam Newton had a child outside of his relationship. And he had a son named Caesar with Lorena Shaw. Kia found out, the public found out, and that was the end of their relationship. He later admitted that he fully thought that marriage was in his future when it came to Kia, until he hurt her in a way that he could not walk back from. And unlike a lot of celebrity men who tried to dodge the conversation or rewrite it, Cam Newton, he didn't. He called it a human mistake. He talked about breaking his daughter's trust. He said out loud that the situation just came from him cheating and it affected his family. He did not give like vague PR statements. He owned up to his bullshit like bluntly. And that honesty just shifted the tone. The public didn't see a man denying responsibility. They saw someone actively wrestling with the consequences of his own actions. And people, they pay attention to that. They don't always forgive, but they listen differently. Since then, Cam Newton has continued building his family. He now has children with Jasmine Brown as well, bringing his biological children to a total number of 7. But in true Cam Newton's fashion, he doesn't stop at biology. He also claims 2 more as his own. So Kia's daughter from a previous relationship and La Renee's older son called Jaden, I think he kind of adopted them, and he said multiple times that he doesn't believe in stepkids. To him, if they are in his life, they are his, period. So when he says that he has 9 kids, he means 9 kids. Yo, my makeup comes out messy at first, but then they come out good, okay, yo, okay? I really don't like that part. Whew. And honestly, what's interesting is how the narrative around him just shifted from, oh, you ruined your family, to look at this man raising an army of children and raising 2 other children that are not even his biologically. The media covers his fatherhood more like a spectacle of admiration than an interrogation itself. There have been photos of him surrounded by kids, hugging them, holding them, doing family dinners, showing up more often than reminders of the affair. And that doesn't mean that everything is smooth behind the scenes. He's actually one of the few men in this conversation who's openly acknowledged the financial side of this too. Post NFL, he's admitted that there are days where the math when it comes to taking care of his children really hurts. And he used to make NFL money, but now he doesn't. He has like a podcast. I don't know how much he earns from the podcast. And supporting this many kids across different households with the lifestyle that he once had, that shift is real. And the thing is, he's not hiding it. He's spoken about the pressure of wanting to give them the world and knowing that the world got more expensive once the football checks just stopped coming in. And even then, he frames it as motivation and he does not regret having his children. Yo, my makeup is messy. What Cam shows better than anyone here is the power of narrative ownership. He did not let the internet write his storyline for him. He stepped into the mess, he named it, he apologized where it mattered, and then he doubled down on presence instead of perfection. And the public, they followed that lead. They did not see him as this villain who fumbled his family. They see a flawed man that is just trying to do right by a lot of kids in a very loud and also a very complicated life. The criticisms, they exist, sure, but it doesn't stick on him like a stain. I think it was just, there was a time where he was involved in this controversy and like people were just speaking about it, mostly because of Jasmine Brown, but now like people don't really speak about him. It just sits more like a background texture to a much bigger picture of fatherhood, accountability, ego, regret, growth, and a whole lot of children.
I understand a lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high function.
What situation?
See my situation? That's a very vague question, and it's for you
what
to even...
What situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning?
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from, this is, can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yes, more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8, okay.
No, baby,
cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God
about your wife?
I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just...
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you would say it, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active, okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without Daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Oh, let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men will what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless, but you over here at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will, you'll get whatever you want, you're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done, you can go for it.
Okay, say less. All right, so what identifies as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with is a broken home. It's called a blended family. It's called a blended family.
That means?
That the family is blended. So blended
So
means,
blended means broken?
yeah.
Okay, so the guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as 26.
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Got it, okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as?
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age he is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old if he has no kids.
So your
he's a candidate.
non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids, but yes, I get how you're saying it, yes.
So you cannot date a person, you cannot be with a person.
I can, but I'm choosing not to.
So?
I can be with anyone, but I'm choosing not to.
You're
I gotta correct it, it's my narrative, Cam.
You're
I
like
can,
jumping in,
I
jumping out, it's either.
Can. No, it's not I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so.
Okay.
So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits what I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yes.
My preference,
Yes.
because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids, so I don't want to put that narrative out there.
Yes.
My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids. Just a scenario.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump. With your verbiage of blended family means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is. Because we could teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves. It doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere. I'm not negating that.
That's not my point.
No, I know, I'm making that point. But yes.
But my point.
My answer is I not only identified that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them,
Yeah.
but also that he's a broken man.
But you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I just said I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a broken man who has multiple kids. I would take
No, not multiple. I'm
well,
talking
a kid. It doesn't matter.
So you're not going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear this up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
No, I said, are you? Listen to what I'm saying.
I heard you. Let me answer it. Hold on. We all have a level of brokenness. So will I date a broken man? Yes. Am I going to date a certain type of brokenness? No.
Of course you're not.
And that type of brokenness is a man who has kids outside of me isn't something that's conducive for what I want forever.
But will you date him?
No.
So that goes to my point. I'm trying to ask a question. You have two different men right here. One man who has...
I will not date a man with kids.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Yes. I will not.
Do you understand? Just off.
Cam's story is proof that the public doesn't even need to be perfect. It just needs them to show the math on the mistakes, stay present for the kids, and not run from the consequences. Everything else apparently can become part of the legacy. So now let's talk about a normalized pattern in entertainment and hip-hop. Because at this point, having multiple kids with multiple partners in entertainment isn't shocking. It's almost what is expected of anybody in the spotlight, especially in hip-hop. There is this clear lineage like Old Dirty Bastard, Eazy-E, DMX. There were some of the earliest examples of rappers that have built their entire bloodlines while the rest of the world was still like clutching their pearls. To me, in my own opinion, they're the ones who have kind of set the blueprint. The new generation, they did not invent this. They just updated it and they added more social media into it, and social media is like the Gen sequel. And culturally, instead of being seen as a crisis, it has turned into a flex. The same industry that celebrates excess, celebrates money, celebrates cars and influence has folded fatherhood into this same aesthetic. If you can afford it, frame it like it proves something. That is proof of desirability, proof of legacy, proof that you're living life on your own terms. It's no coincidence that rappers will casually reference their kids, their baby mamas, even their custody agreements in lyrics like it's just another accessory when it comes to fame. It's not apology music, it's literally like something that they, like I would say something that is like a posture. And when it comes to the media plays along too. When the news dropped that another baby is on the way, the tone is really serious. It's very, oh wow, another one, with a wink of not that deep dive into accountability or parenting impact. The coverage leans into spectacle, into countdown energy, chat updates, viral reactions, memes, group chat jokes. Even the commentary is entertainment-led. Who said what? Who reacted where? Whose captions had shade? My video will probably have a shady caption. And honestly, it's storylines and character arcs, and it's not literally a social critique. But before we speak about the women involved, let me do my lip line now, okay? I know what's going on today. I do not like my makeup. And sadly, the women involved are often part of the show too. There will be photo shoots, there will be announcements, cryptic captions, clapbacks at the other baby mamas. They will joke about it. They'll even do like soft launches, all fed into this public narrative that feels less like heartbreak and more like a season premiere. The pressure isn't to conform to traditional family optics. It's literally to maintain the vibe, to look good doing it, and to keep the plot very interesting. This isn't a moral debate to mainstream anymore. But here's where the double standard waves its own flag. If a famous woman had 6 kids with 6 men, the conversation wouldn't be memes. It would literally be morality essays, questions about judgment, accusations of instability, comment sections, dissertations, diagnosing her psyche, her choices, her worth. Labels would stick to her in permanent marker. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, when I say permanent marker, I mean permanent marker, not even erasable ink. Meanwhile, men in the same situations, they get think pieces, punchlines, or power narrative. They rarely get punished for this behavior. The difference matters because what this shift really shows isn't just that celebrity culture is evolving. It shows who gets forgiven and who gets glamorized, who gets mocked affectionately instead of condemned aggressively. I'm not saying that, women should go and have 6 children with 6 men, but I'm just showing you guys the double standard. It just shows how the culture is way more comfortable just watching men collect families like franchise expansions than watching women exist outside the lines that these men are existing in at all. Hopefully that makes sense. But honestly, it's not the baby count that is the story. It's literally the immunity, the privilege, the lack of penalty, the way the public narrative just bends into shape around them instead of against them. The jokes, they land softly. The criticisms, they evaporate so quick, and the shock just expires instantly. And suddenly, what used to be a scandal just becomes a very stylistic choice. It does not become a crisis. It's not a downfall. It's just another day in celebrity branding. So now let's ask this question. Why don't the women object? One thing that stands out in all of this is how rarely the mothers publicly go scorched earth on these situations. That doesn't mean that there isn't heartbreak or any awkward conversations or any messy group chats behind the curtain. It just means that we rarely see it play out in press conferences, revenge interviews, or diss tracks, which I'm not saying that should be the case, but honestly, there are a few very clear reasons why. First of all, these women, or even not even these women, like women in general, don't really, or many women don't really say anything. First of all, let's talk about the financial piece, because the financial piece, it matters. In as much as we are like, it does not matter, it matters, and it matters a lot. None of these men are struggling to pay rent or split nappies between households. None of them. If they're struggling, again, they'll try to make it kind of work so like the public would not see them. And again, the material needs, they get met. The pregnancies are being supported. The lifestyles that these women have, they do not downgrade. And the kids, they are looked after. That removes a very huge percentage of the rage that normally fuels public call out. When your baby is good and the bills are good and access is there and the father shows up in some capacity, the situation becomes more tolerable, even if it's not ideal. I spoke earlier about Brie, and Brie summed it up perfectly when people assumed that Nick Cannon was footing her entire lifestyle. Basically, she shut it down like, no, I handle my own, he handles his. And that mindset just gives a lot of autonomy back to the women involved. Then there is the fact that most of these relationships did not even start in blissful ignorance. A lot of the women, they walked into this relationship with full-time job descriptions and benefit package that has already been explained. Abby De La Rosa, hopefully I'm pronouncing her name well, she did not arrive to a surprise roster. She literally joined an existing league. Jaslyn Michelle married NBA Youngboy, knowing that he came with kids like someone else might come with student loan. Some of these women, they don't even frame the others as enemies. They frame them more like co-workers in a shared, slightly chaotic family co-op. Abby literally said that seeing Nick Cannon nurture his other children just made her see a different side of him. yo, this thing scares me. And honestly, that perspective only comes from walking into a situation with clarity instead of betrayal. There is also the brand angle. Many of the mothers have their own followings, they have their own businesses, they have their own public identities, they have their own influencers. Many of them are like influencers. And public breakdowns, lengthy accusation or messy exposes might get attention for a day, but let's be very realistic, they rarely get respect in long term, or they rarely get respected long term. So staying composed but desirable, staying unbothered or funny online just tends to open more doors than becoming a public casualty of somebody else's downfall. Ciara is a great example. Yo, please give me a second, let me do my eyelash. Ciara is a great example. She's never dragged Future publicly. She just pivoted. She got married. She glowed up. We have the Ciara prayer. And culturally, she won. Sometimes dignity is literally the better storyline. Another unspoken truth, keeping it peaceful increases the chances of the father staying present. Let's be very, very realistic. Which again, like, whatever your baby mama does to you should not be a reason why you should stop being present in your child's life. But again, nothing shocks me anymore. And a man who feels constantly attacked or embarrassed or publicly weaponized is more likely to retreat or to reduce access or get legally defensive. A man who feels that there is mutual respect, even in a very weird situation, is more likely to keep showing up to see his children. And a lot of these women are not playing PR games. They are playing long-term parenting strategy. And sure, there have been blow-up. Future's paternity battle spilled online. Yaya Mayweather and Young Boy's circle had actual violence attached to their drama. Not every situation is zen, but what hasn't happened is a sustained public uprising from the women saying that these men have ruined their life. That part is what is different. The loud silence is literally the statement. Some of them even lean into the situation with humor, acceptance, or a kind of domestic recalibration that just makes the public go, well, if they are good, then we are good too. Abby literally summed up the energy perfectly without even trying. She said, if this is my baby daddy and this is my reality, I'm choosing to live inside of it. I'm not gonna lie, that's literally the through line. Not devastation, not denial, not protest. It's just a collective decision by the people most impacted that the situation is livable, it's workable, or at least not worth burning the world down over. Give me a second. And once the women lead the narrative with calm instead of crisis, the rest of the world just follows suit. Now let's talk about the impact on fatherhood, masculinity, and family stability. The rise of these larger-than-life multi-household fathers isn't just messy tabloid content, it's quietly reshaping what people picture when they hear the word dad. And because the men leading this shift are some of the most visible black celebrities on the planet, the ripple effect goes way beyond Hollywood. For a long time, fatherhood was pictured like a fixed photograph. 2 parents, 1 home, stability, routine, bedtime stories that aren't scheduled around flights and tour dates. These guys, they flipped that entire frame. They've made it normal for fatherhood to look like travel schedules, FaceTime check-ins, different living rooms, different mothers, same man. And the message they constantly sell is this: I don't have to be your partner to be a good father to our children. There is nuance in that message. On the positive side, it pushes back against the old belief that a man who isn't romantically tied to the mother automatically means lost love or limited care. Nick Cannon says constantly that fatherhood is his real purpose, and that even if his family structure looks strange to outsiders, the love is still real. That kind of visibility unshackles fatherhood from marriage in a way that actually helps a lot of kids and dads feel less boxed in by traditional rules. But there is a flip side most people don't see until reality actually hits them in the face. The Instagram version of these lives shows birthday cakes, matching outfits, cute moments, and photo groups. What it can't show is the math behind all this, the time division, the emotional bandwidth, the parts of parenting that can't be evenly distributed when there are multiple homes pulling from the same source. Studies back this up. Fathers with kids across different relationships almost always end up giving less time and fewer resources to the children who came first. Not because they suddenly care less, but because attention, energy, and hours in a day don't multiply just because children do. So, what gets celebrated publicly is visibility and intention. Yes, he shows up, he claims his kids, he posts them, and quietly, that can become the new standard. Not presence, not consistency, not everyday parenting, but acknowledgement and occasional proximity. The emotional labor that women carry daily just becomes invisible in comparison to the public applause that dads get for the moments that they can manage. Then there is the masculinity piece, which is a whole cultural conversation on its own. In a lot of hip-hop and celebrity culture, big families are not framed as consequences. They are literally framed as trophies. They are proof of desirability, proof of legacy, proof that you are the main character on a cosmic level. And it turns fatherhood into mythology. A lot of young men don't even watch these stories and think logistics or therapy or co-parenting spreadsheets. They literally think legacy, that's a legend, icon behavior, blah, blah, blah. And for black men specifically, there is an added layer. Being a present father to multiple children outside of marriage becomes a form of narrative rebellion. A way to say, I'm not absent, I'm not ashamed, I'm not defeated, I'm not a stereotype. Except the thing is, it just loops right back around and risks reinforcing a different stereotype. And what's this different stereotype? Is literally the idea that black masculinity is most validated through fertility, through conquest and emotional distance from traditional commitment. The kids in these stories are the quietest voices, but they are the most important ones. They do not experience the cultural discourse. They experience the logistics, the coordination, the half-siblings they may or may not even grow up near, the different rules depending on which house they are at, the emotional math of sharing a parent with many other children who also want a full piece of this father that they all have. Some will adjust beautifully, some will struggle quietly, some will literally fill the gaps long before they have language for it. And yes, money, I'm not gonna lie, money smooth things over a lot. Oh my god, hopefully I'm not touching my microphone. Money smooth things over a lot, and a child whose dad is rich doesn't go without toys, trips, or school fees the way a child with the same family layout but fewer financial resources might. But money does not solve presence. It cannot clone a parent. It can't stretch time. It can't make someone emotionally omnipresent. So while the culture is moving towards neutral or even celebratory reactions to these family models, the bigger question is this: are we redefining fatherhood in a way that expands what is acceptable or shrinking what is expected? Because normalizing something that only works when insulated by fame and wealth just risk leaving everyone else trying to reenact a story without the resources that made it survivable in the first place. And the kids that have been raised outside of celebrity budgets or outside of the spotlight and cushioning are the ones who will ultimately answer whether this new era of fatherhood was evolution or regression. You won't hear the answer in likes, in jokes, or in viral videos. We'll hear it a generation later. Conclusion. I have to ask this question. Are we redefining family or are we repeating old patterns? When you look at the canon, NBA Youngboy, Future, Stefon Diggs, Cam Newton, all people are spoken about, when you look at them side by side, a really clear picture forms. They've each created their own version of fatherhood in the public eye. And for better or worse, it's become something that we barely blink at anymore. None of them are married to most of their children's mothers. All of them have big blended families, and instead of public shame, what they get is fascination, jokes, think pieces, and sometimes even applause. If an average guy had the same family layout, the reaction would probably be way harsher. But fame and money changes the rules, and suddenly the chaos becomes a lifestyle. What's very interesting is how the people around them have played into that shift. The mother involved rarely speak in public outrage. The media covers it like entertainment, and the conversation almost never sounds like condemnation. Somewhere along the way, the industry collectively just decided that lots of kids, lots of mothers, and lots of baby announcements is just another A-list personality trait. And there is a positive side to that. It does push back against the idea that a family has to look one specific way, or that a father who isn't with the mother automatically loves his kids less. It makes single motherhood less taboo, and it gives real world people in similar situations something to point and say, see, families can look like this too. In a country where almost half of kids are born to unmarried parents, that shift in representation matters. And it's a big but. It always smooths over the reality too cleanly. Public only sees baby photo sheets, birthday posts, matching outfits, private jet moments, and supportive captions. No one gets behind the scenes math of splitting time between households, keeping every kid emotionally secure, showing up consistently, or dealing with the emotional and financial pull of multiple co-parent relationships at once. Even these men, they have admitted that it's fucking heavy. Cam Newton has talked about how much it cost him in every sense. Nick Cannon has openly wondered if he should have slowed down. Those scripts of honesty rarely goes viral though. The glossy version does, and that glossy version is what lands with younger people, younger children, younger audiences. A boy watching NBA Youngboy might walk away admiring the notoriety, not understanding the logistics of it all. A girl watching the grace of Abidella Rosa or Jaslyn Michelle might romanticize being one of the multiple baby mamas and not realizing how much those situations are cushioned by celebrity status, money, nannies, and access that most people do not even have. The risk isn't just that young people imitate the idea, it's that they miss the nuance in the consequences. This trend is quietly reshaping how we talk about masculinity too. In certain pockets of culture, having lots of friends with different women is read as proof of desirability, stamina, legacy, and status. Fertility becomes a flex. It fits into the idea that manhood is measured by how much you can seed, not necessarily how consistently you show up. And you end up with a weird paradox. Dads are praised for claiming their kids publicly, but rarely held to the same standard for the invisible part of parenting that demands consistency, that demands routine, patience, presence, and time that you can get back. And family stability, it hasn't stopped being the ideal in speeches, but in practice, it's been replaced by a new cultural tolerance. A family doesn't even need to live under one roof or even operate like a traditional unit to be accepted or even admired. And again, there is nothing inherently wrong with non-traditional families. Fuck you, I am a fucking lesbian, okay? And again, is it traditional? No, but I know I'm going to get married to my girlfriend. The issue just shows up when the conversation focuses so much on expanding what is acceptable that we forget to talk about what kids actually need. Maybe the real takeaway is that two things can be true at the same time. Yes, fathers can love their children deeply without being with the mothers. Yes, families come in different shapes. And also, love doesn't automatically equal presence. Stability still matters, time isn't replaceable, and children don't emotionally divide neatly just because adults decide that they should. This trend forces us to ask better questions. Is fatherhood about intention or consistency? Is it enough to be present online and in moments, or does presence matter most in the days that no one takes pictures of? Can we normalize different family structures without quietly normalizing emotional gaps too, because the conversation right now feels like acceptance on overdrive, but accountability on hush mode. The truth is, we won't know the full impact of this era by looking at the dads who lived it. We will know by listening to the kids who grew up in it. They'll be the ones who tell us whether this shift made space for healthier definitions of family or just made instability look shiny or aspirational. For now, we're gonna watch, we're gonna debate, some of us are gonna laugh, we'll romanticize, we'll question, but hopefully in all the noise that this thing makes, we remember the quiet core of it. None of this is really about celebrity. It's about the kids, the outcome, the emotional math, and the kind of adulthood that this generation will step into carrying their own version of normal. And that story, trust me, it's still being written. And guys, that brings us to the end of this video. If you reach the end, kindly like, share, subscribe if you care, because we've reached the end. I'm not gonna lie, I do not like my makeup, if I'm being very honest, because if you guys know me, I do better makeup than this. Oh, I keep hitting my mic. If you guys know me, I do better makeup than this. I do not like this makeup at all. If I'm being very honest, there's just a lot of things that is going on. First of all, my eye is cracking and it's pissing me off. And secondly, I'll spoil this now. Anyways, I'm showering once I stand up from here. But anyways, but yeah, literally, what do you guys think about this makeup? If you watch my videos, you know I do better makeup than this. But I think it looks okay, if I'm being honest. I will rate it a 5 out of 10. Or maybe it's my new hair, I don't know. This hair, I don't know, guys. But anyways, guys, okay, we reached the end of this video. If you reach the end, kindly like, share, subscribe if you do care, and I really do hope you care. So as we've reached the end, I really do hope you care. So that being said, PSA, y'all, I'm traveling. It's literally the next day, so I'm literally traveling tomorrow, okay? I'm going to Tunisia. If you're watching this, I'm already in Tunisia. That's if it comes out this weekend. But if it does not come out this weekend, then I came back from Tunisia like Wednesday, okay? I'm staying for a whole week. Today is Tuesday. Oh, because we're a new day. So today is Wednesday, like Wednesday morning, like very early, like 1 a.m. but whatever. So I'm going to Tunisia tomorrow with my friends, and honestly, I am so excited. I can't believe that I initially said no to go to this trip, but I said yes because I need a break. During the month of November, in as much as I try, I always have depression. Like this seasonal depression, it hits me so hard and I hate it so much. So like I'm already like having the depression. It's already started like 2 days ago. I was crying. Yeah, guys, I was crying. I was fucking depressed. Like I just felt it creeping, and then I just wrote something on my notes. Like I was writing like my life story, yo. Can be so dramatic, and I sent it to my girlfriend, but she understood where I was coming from, because again, like when it gets cold, you just start thinking about your life and everything. I know, but I keep hitting my mic. But guys, literally, I'm so happy to take this 1 week trip. We're staying in a resort. I'm so excited. Oh my god. But yo, yeah, that is it. And I got my nails done today. These are like literally the longest nails I've ever done. They are so fucking homophobic because these nails are so long, and as a lesbian, why do I have nails this long? My hands are ashy, you guys understand. Why are my nails like this long? Like they're unnecessarily so long. Like I cannot get over how long they are. They're not really, well, you know what, but one thing about like my long nails, my thumb must always be short because this is how I type. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's PSA about my life. And again, I don't know if I like my hair. I'm going to take the beads out. Talking for someone who loves beads, but I think I'm going to take them out. I feel like they make my face look like much more rounder, overly. Like it's just giving my face. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I have made it? Yeah, I don't know. But let me just sleep and wake up and see. Maybe I don't need the beads. I think I'll take them out. And again, I'm going to do lots of swimming. Y'all know October 16th was the first time I learned how to swim. Yo, I can swim from one end to the other. And today is literally November. What's the time? What's today? Today is November 12th. So in less than a month, I've literally learned how to swim. I'm not obviously a professional, but I can float in water. I can like swim. I still have a problem with my legs. I have problem coordinating, but I used to be so scared of water. Like, I can go from one end to the other. And thanks to my friend, because my friend has really been my support system. Like, I'm so grateful for them. Like, literally, they've been my support system in this whole situation. And like, they taught me how to swim. Even them themselves, they are learning, but they believe in me that I did not even believe in myself. And they believed in me so much that it made me believe in myself. And I was like, you know what? I can actually do this. And yo, I swam. I can swim. I'm learning by myself. When I come back from Tunisia, I'm going to sign up for a class so that I would learn. I also got into the 3-meter pool. I obviously did not swim in there, but because my friend wanted me to literally literally have faith in myself, they took me to a 3-meter pool. I took my hands off. I did not do anything. I felt water pressure. It took me back up. And they made me do this. We did that for like 10 to 15 minutes. And that really upped my confidence. So like, honestly, I have like the best friends like ever. Like, I'm so grateful for the people that I have in my corner. Like, I know I say that all the time, but I am so grateful. But yeah, that is the update on my life currently. Thank you guys so much. I don't know how this video came out. I don't know how this video came out. I hope you guys, I hope you guys literally let me know. Yeah, but I don't know, my makeup, how do you guys see my makeup? Another thing that's making me kind of listen, because normally my eyebrows are bleached, and as someone who bleaches her eyebrows, but my eyebrows, when the hair grows back, my makeup, I don't know, I just don't feel myself anymore. But I'm going to bleach my brows tomorrow when I go to my friend's place, because from there we'll take an Uber to the train station, then we'll take the train station to the airport, and then we're going. Y'all don't live in the UK. The UK weather is fucking depressing. My cousin, she stays in America and she came to the UK. She's here for like 2 weeks. Like, to be fair, like a week, if I'm being very honest, because she's leaving on Thursday and she's leaving London on Thursday. She's going to Edinburgh and like other places in the UK. And she's staying like 1.5 days. So basically, I think she's going back like Saturday or Sunday, but it's up to 2 weeks. But anyways, and this is her second time in the UK this year. And honestly, she was just telling me about America. And she was like, she's trying to even convince my mom to go to America, because my mom stays in the UK. She's trying to convince my mom to go to America and work, like get a contract job and work. And yeah, like she was just telling me about the rent in America and how affordable they are. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because the UK's rent is so fucking expensive, and they don't even pay us that much for the rent to be expensive. Like, they don't pay us well for us to have expensive rent. Like, our rent is so expensive. And she was just speaking about America, and I was like, oh my god, I want to go to America. And my friends we were there while she was talking to us, and we're like, you know what, maybe we should go to America. Who knows? Maybe I'll be in America next year. Who knows? But anyways, guys, I feel like I just overshared. Oh my god, that's probably my ADHD. But yo, on a serious note, I'm going to take away the beats, because yeah, I think I'm going to take them away. I don't know. I don't think I like how they're looking, because normally I love beats, but I don't think. Ooh, this hair is so painful. Oh my god, it's an African auntie that made my hair. It's so fucking painful. But anyways, guys, I don't know what to say. Sing. Thank you guys so much. Kindly like, share, subscribe if you do care. And I hope you care, guys. Until next time, drop a brown emoji, at least for my beats I'm going to take out, because I don't think I'm going to leave them in. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, bye. Another thing, guys, I don't know if you guys like all this makeup and talk videos. This is my first time doing this. Actually, this is not my first time doing this. I've done it before when I did Tyra Banks video, but I had a table there. I don't have a table in my room. I have a table, but I don't have. Don't worry, you guys will not understand. But anyways, so literally, let me give you guys. It's very confusing when it comes to multitasking, when it comes to doing something like this. But let me know if you guys want videos like this, and I could try and incorporate it. It's just very you know, I either have to be here or there. Today I was literally crying. So let me know. And what you guys think of my makeup. Let me know what you guys think of my makeup. And yeah, I would be so excited and glad to know if you guys want me to continue. Again, I do better makeup than this. If you watch my channel, you know, this is literally like not really where it is meant to be. But please give me grace. Thank you. And again, my hair, I just feel so new in my hair. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And bye.